Okay, we're good.
Going?
Yeah.
Make sure that we're clear. The sign issue is referring to the parking area. The political signs can be on the other side of the sidewalk with the property's owner's permission, but the city issue is in the city parking right away.
Yeah.
They don't allow any signs. Even the political signs have to be up into the private yards.
All right. Well, again, I'm going to challenge that because public property is.
What I would suggest you
Sure.
do is contact housing. They're the ones that have the regulation for that. To make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Sure.
And that way, hopefully nobody gets in trouble.
Well, yeah, and but the thing is, public streets, sidewalks, parks, according to Frisbee Schultz, are the archetype of freedom of speech. Okay, they're public forum. So because of the fact that I do have it on public property, makes it constitutional. So. Regardless of what ordinances, what rules.
Well, I'm going to ask you to contact them to make sure that you're within the parameters of how the Iowa City purview, since you are in Iowa City.
Right.
And if you choose not to do that, then
we'll have to take it from there.
Very well, sir.
All right. Have a good one.
City attorney's office sent me down.
Oh, okay.
I explained it all to Randy, but
sure.
Basically the signs cannot be used. So he has the ordinance there. He also has Eric Goers and the city attorney's office. That's okay.
Okay, so you took the signs.
I did. They were told to be removed, and they weren't removed.
Okay, what about the signs that are over on the corner down over here, and the one that's over here? You got to leave those signs up and just take mine.
If you complain about the complaint-driven process, we don't drive around town looking for signs. I mean,
who filed the complaint?
I don't know. I know that at least twice in the last month the complaint came through housing and inspection. But if I had to guess, and I told Randy, if I had to guess, if I looked around, I think I could make a good guess where it came from. But I don't know that.
Will you give me a citation, please, so that I can fight it in court?
If you repost the signs, I will. If you repost the signs, you will be charged with obstruction or interference, depending on the situation.
And how do I get my signs back?
They'll be taken and destroyed, but I can list them into property, and you can go down to the city and get them back if you would like.
Well, yeah, I'd like a receipt for them.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Pull off the road.
Right.
Especially the time of by code, by city ordinance, they can't be in the parkway. They're supposed to be in the yard. We handle them. We don't drive around pulling signs, and we didn't today either. We handle them when we get a complaint. It tends to be a complaint-driven process. We try to make contact with the person close to the sign. Usually on the political sign, it's the property owner. The property owner wasn't aware that they had to be on his side of the sidewalk as opposed to the street side of the sidewalk. And normally after we inform them of that, they get moved. Or they say, you know what, we didn't post those signs. They showed up one day, in which case they get taken and they get thrown in a dumpster behind the police department. After we got this complaint, and Officer Mevis came down and spoke with you today, and said, he's going to challenge this. He wants to make a statement. How is this different?
Oh, we want to make a case.
Yeah, and how is this different?
Right.
I said, I can tell you about how it was done in the past, but before we do anything today, I'm going to call the city attorney's office.
Sure.
Because there are things going on. It happened to be that I was put through to Eric Goers, and it's Goers, like Goers. Spoke with him. He called me back after a little while, which is the delay. He called me back and said, there's a variety of things that could apply, depending on interpretation, but this is the one that I, Eric Goers, will hang my hat on. He said it actually falls under HIS, housing inspection, which is where we normally often get our complaints from, but I think they come from other people through housing inspection. And no privately owned sign shall be placed on or over public space. Removal of existing privately owned signs currently located on or over public space that are not in compliance with code shall be eliminated or removed. If the sign owner fails to remove the sign after so ordered by the city may remove the sign and assess the cost of the sign. Nobody had to bring a hard struck down here. Granted, I had to find out the evaluation I was working on come out here, but there is no cost to the city as far as I'm concerned, so there's no cost of that.
Well, there has to be, a legitimate governmental interest, in doing this, and there's legal precedent. I mean, that would make this law unconstitutional as applied, to what we're doing here today, and that's why I want to challenge it. And it's not that we are posting signs, all around town. We're posting them at a specific place that we're ministering at.
Right.
And so it falls under free speech. It's the ordinance that you're showing me, and any other ordinance that you would show me, would be unconstitutional as applied. There's already case law, regarding that.
And you understand that I didn't write the ordinance.
Sure.
Nor can I give you. I mean, I can suppose what the reasons were behind this, but I don't know. They were passed by council members.
Sure.
Looks like back in 2008, or at least revisited back in 2008. I work for the city.
Sure.
And before I acted on anything, I wanted to make sure basically my butt was covered. So I called the city attorney's office. He said, "Here's what I understand you to be saying to Officer Nevis. What's the difference between my sign and these signs?" I additionally, to Sergeant Kelsey, have a question about how is this different than Occupy the City?
You see, when it's a complaint-driven prosecution, it's selective prosecution.
But there's always discretion on that. There's speeders all over the place, or there's an intersection that there's more red light violators, and we pay attention to that. We don't have resources to address every violation.
But it didn't happen to me, you see. And this is happening to me. This is something that's challenging, something that we do out here all the time, and something that we're going to continue doing. And
And you do it all the time.
It is selective prosecution. It is. Because if it's complaint-driven, it's selective. Okay.
But we can't be everywhere at once and enforce everything. And as far as you being out here and doing it all the time, you are out here getting your message and delivering your message and doing your ministry and all the time. But you aren't. And usually when the city, it's usually police, because we're the ones that get sent down to speak with you when we get a complaint. But usually the city says, here's what you need to be in compliance.
What is legitimate governmental interest? There isn't any.
Shall I take a guess? I mean,
Sure.
my guess is, and this is pure speculation on my part, because I had nothing to do with the ordinance. But my guess is that if you try to get in that whole slippery slope, okay, if we allow a little garage sale sign, or we allow the political signs, or in this case, your ministry signs, then next thing you have 4-foot, 5-foot signs to compete with them, or to get more attention, and you have this space.
But we didn't have a 4-foot.
I understand that, but you asked me, and I'm supposing here what's the legitimate, for the good of the public purpose for that ordinance. I mean, I'm speculating, but my guess is that played into it. I had nothing to do with draft.
Right. But even so, the signs were intended, by the people that are here. They're gone when we leave. And that's the way that that's the way it is.
And this sign's attended, and
the other one.
Get messaged out, and also need to come down and say, this is what I understand to be the case. They need to be attended immediately. It can't be a fixed or freestanding.
Well, now we get into this all fuzzy-wuzzy area,
And you want to challenge them.
Right. So, I'm going to challenge it. I'd like the courtesy of some citation or something that we can take it to court with, so that we can whip your butt. Yeah, because the fact that it is so blatantly, unconstitutional.
Well, you believe that, and I don't know. I'm a police officer. I'm not an attorney.
Well, you just stole my sign.
No, I didn't steal anything. Steal is to
take something that without somebody's permission, take somebody else's property without any, without their permission.
Without any legal license to do so.
I need some sort of a citation, to fight in court.
Okay, were you responsible for placing the sign?
I certainly was.
And did you let the signs remain after being told by Officer Nevis?
I certainly did.
If you would like me to write a citation, if you think that will help clarify things in the end, I'll be glad to do that. I will need to see ID then, just so that I can get
Well, you know who I am.